Hello everybody, welcome to the On the Edge mod pack. Todd here, and happy Thanksgiving Eve. So, I've just been out here murdering some trees, and I thought maybe I actually have enough time to record a little bit. So, flipped on the switch and here we are. Alright, so what are we going to do today? Let's go inside here. And, hey! Where's my stuff? Did those creepers come inside here again? Oh my gosh. What the heck? What is up with that special AI mod? Is there anything here? Oh, I still have my cotton plants. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh no, what are we gonna do? I'm not a very good actor. Okay. So you know how we talked about the airlock at the end of the last episode? Well, oh, there's a guy coming after me. Okay, let's get going. And I already showed you a little preview of something. So I went and I made a bunch of air bubbles with one airlock. So it is... Look at these guys. Are you going to cross over this thing? What I did here is the old sign and carpet trick, so I guess they don't want to walk over it. Okay, let's see if we can have an episode without being attacked. So, it is confirmed that once you have the air bubbles in place, they don't disappear. For now, until it gets changed, if it gets changed. So I went through and I did a bunch, and we will talk about this. I was in need of some power, so I just went ahead and threw it together. Yeah, we'll come back to that. And I just made a little path. I didn't go for like a certain like block design or anything, but I thought that this would be my home now, and I moved all my stuff here. I haven't set up my smeltery again. Here are all the pieces. But I tried to make a few buildings down here now that I have a place that creepers won't come down here and just blow up randomly. And it's the same stuff that we did up there. It's just the solar stuff. Solar core. Over here we have our thermal piles and our steam engines. The heat from the solar goes underground. I have some heat transfer pipe, I believe that's what they're called, and these are fireboxes just to kind of help with the heat, because you know sometimes with my processing and stuff it takes a lot of heat to turn into electricity, but it looks like it's getting there. The voltage is getting back up. Actually, it looks like it was going down. So this is the very last of our steam going through here. Looks like this guy's still working for a few more seconds. And so we saw this last time, the crusher. I have some supplies in there. Okay, so let's start over here. So I have this go into a battery we haven't made yet. So here is the recipe, and then the large battery recipe. What it is that you just fill. Oh, that's why it's still needing to create powers, because it needs to fill this up. Okay, so it holds voltage just like the other items, and then this is the actual battery part. So it looks like it's just started filling up for me. And then underneath that is a low voltage cable, and it goes down to one of those kinetic generators. Here it is, kinetic generator. Okay, and then that feeds into some hardened flux ducts, and then they're going around, so you can see that those are covers, and they go all the way around the outside here and comes up right here. And then I have it feeding into the RF alternator, which turns RF into electricity, which is supplying power to our crusher. And then this side is just going to an energy cell, hardened one. Okay, so let's go look at the windmill real quick. And we were able to farm enough of the cotton plant to get this and see what it's doing. You have to watch out for these holes. Alright, so this is probably a good angle right here. We'll go up, just see what it is. We're almost there. Now, I know this isn't the most efficient. It's not even moving right now. because it's pretty low. You 75 block 75 is pretty low. It's like almost down to sea level. So we have the big windmill, or the big wind turbine, the biggest one, and oh, it's because the power is full. I guess that's why it's not moving. So it has voltage and it has its own internal battery, and it says there's no wind anyways right now. When it rains, I guess there's more wind, but maybe we're just having a nice day and there's not going to be any wind at the moment. Efficiency, once you place the block, this starts growing, and once it gets to 100 it stays there, and then it's not building it. It's not making any power because, oh, there we go. It's moving a little bit. So at 1% we're doing 21 watts, and then it's just going to go up from there a little bit. Okay, and then you have to change the voltage to medium to use the kinetic generator. Now the reason that I'm using, let's get down from here. The reason that I'm using the kinetic generator instead of just using the electricity cables is that the electricity cables, you lose electricity over distance, and as far as I know, red flux, or red RF, we'll say that RF doesn't get lost over distance. So I'm turning it to RF, and then let's do some running, and then just had to. And then it's running underneath the ground all the way over. You can kind of see where I have some of my things going. I don't have it going back over and being turned back into electricity because I just felt like that would have been redundant. So I have this run into here, and then it's actually going underneath, and then it's connecting over here. You can kind of see where it's coming from right there. So it's also feeding the hardened energy cell, and next episode we're going to put something right there. But what we are doing today, since we're all caught up, is we are going to be building the next part of our ore processing from Magneticraft. First, you send things through the crusher. Aside from the bonuses you get from crushing ore, you get the chunks. Okay, the next step, and I said it in another video that you put it in the sieve. Well, that was wrong. You put it into the grinder, and when you put the chunks into the grinder, then they turn into rubble, and then if you grind them again, they turn into pebbles. And then with the pebbles, you can either just smelt them, which is what we're going to do today, but we'll eventually get to the next step. And the next step is to use a sieve to turn the pebbles into dust. And then I believe that that's the last step. So we'll get our supplies here and build it. Use everything we need. So just like the crusher and the other multi-blocks, you just right click on it and it shows you what you need to put down. Alright, so it looks like our base is just the multi-block chassis, and then we have a low voltage on the two sides and the input output right there. Let's get on top, and it looks like a hollow middle. Whoops. I didn't know you could actually interface with that before it's built. Okay, can we still get this? Good. And then we need to put another input output in the middle on the top. There we go. Good, and that should be the last one. We'll put that there, and then hop down and change this to our grinder. Grinder, right? Yes, I'm saying it correctly. Okay, so Magneticraft has some items, or some blocks, we'll say, to get stuff in and out of your machines, and that's the inserter, and then you can move them along the conveyor belt right here. But I was messing around with it, and I did get it to work, but I want it to, I don't know, I want it to be smaller, and I think the way that I was doing it was not very small. Now, I looked at some pictures that Cypher, one of the developers, had made, and he's got a pretty cool base setup and everything. So I hope to get to that level at some point, but right now we're not there. So what I'm doing here, and I should have brought along, we'll use this, I guess. a block to step up on. What I'm doing here is I'm just using some extra utilities piping, and then this is going to the top. This is a big hopper, so if I throw something in there, it's going to collect it. But if you don't want to do that, you can just use some sort of piping, item piping. All right, so I put a filter pipe here. I'll show you what that's about. I need to make sure I power this sucker. So we're going to need that, and I told you that the power is going along through the wall, so we're going to need to turn the RF back into electricity, like that. And you can see it's filling up. Oh, that's right. I power it from this side. You can power it from either side. It just seemed to work better for me to do it from over here. There we go. And then this should be getting some power. Yep, there it goes. Okay. And what's next? What's next? What's next? I need to throw another transfer node on the back because this is where items come out of. And then a filter right here. And then let's get this going around. I feel like... Oh, okay, this isn't where I put this. Take that off. So we're going to want to smelt the items that come out of here. So we'll put that in there, and then it's going to start getting electricity and heating up. And then we will put our brick furnace on top, and then that's going to get some heat from the heater. And we want to... Whoops. We want to get... No. Oh no. We want to get this over here. What is the... I need to remember what I was doing. There we go. And then now we have everything. So the filter pipe. When the chunks come out of here, we're going to want the dust to go and get smelted right away because they can't get processed anymore. Now the chunks we're going to want to go up to the top. Also, when the chunks get grinded down, then they will turn into rubble. Instead of the rubble going and being smelted right away, we want them to turn to pebbles. So they're going to come back around and get grinded again and turn into pebbles. Instead of having two grinders, we're just going to use the one and then have it kind of go in a circle to get reprocessed. Okay, and then everything needs to come over here. So I have two filters, 1 and 2. You can see the big long list. This filter is an invert filter, I believe. Yeah, inverted. And what we do is we throw that into here so that all of the rubble will not go into this. And I forgot to look at the color, so green. Put that right there. So now the rubble won't go into there. So now we do need a place for the rubble, and that's going to be up. So you can see I want all the chunks, and we want all the rubble to go up into the white. So that's going to go into there. Alright, and then now all we need to do, and I know this is pretty crude for now, but just kind of showing it off, is to just have things come out and placed into a chest. That's it. Alright, so I don't think I need this anymore to hop up on. And we had some of this going on. Good deal. Put this over here so it can find where it's going faster. And if you hit the F7 button so you can see where things can spawn, you can see that there are some yellow marks up there. I know usually things can't spawn on machines, but they can here. So we're going to throw that up just to make those not spawnable. Okay, and then I think we have our setup set up. And this isn't permanent. When I started building it, I thought that there would be enough space, but it's real close to these buildings here. And so I think I just want to push it back a little bit. Or even like as I get more airlocks going on, then we can, I don't know, just expand it and build it more. Wow, this is just, is it nighttime? Is that what it is? I think it's nighttime. Okay, let's go sleep. It is nighttime, so our solar stuff isn't gaining any heat. Okay, and we're up. And then maybe some wood. We got some wood right here. And we'll add a little bit of coal to our furnace. Oh, okay. So this mod pack is by MC Jetty, and one of his mods is a deep resonance, and he's got those deep resonance crystals that you can get power from. And I happen to find one right here. I haven't moved it, touched it, or anything, but there it is. The ones that you find aren't going to be very powerful because they're meant for beginning game power. So you can see right here in the tooltip it says it's 40 RF a tick. So that's what that is. And then plus it poisons the ground. So when we do set that up, then we're going to want to do it someplace else, not around all of our stuff. So what was I doing? I want to get some power. So we'll cook some of this stuff real quick. There we go. And we'll just grab that out. Sure, that'll be good. Oops. No. I need that. Throw that in here, here, and here. That'll just start heating up a little. Get it going. Still going down. Okay, anyways, so let me show it off so you can see what it does. I will pick this here. One thing I want to warn about is that if this starts spitting out chunks and everything faster than this can grind everything down to pebbles, it gets caught up and stuck. The rubble will collect back here in the back. It won't have anywhere to go, and if the top is full of chunks and other rubble, then it's not going to be pulled out because it just, it can't go that way. So I think a solution to that is to maybe put a chest here and have like a buffer inventory that the rubble can go to while stuff is being ground down. And that should probably go like right there. So I'm just going to do one at a time so we don't see things get backed up. So we throw that in. It's going to start, there we go. And then you'll see that start spinning. There's some chunks. When it goes down, you might, no, it's just getting filled up with more chunks. But if we look at this, if something will come over, there's some dust. You won't see any chunks or rubble come through. It's just going to be pebbles, and it's going to be... Did it get blocked up already? No. It's just going slow. No, because everything's going through. Okay, there are the pebbles. It takes a while for this thing to recognize and then, pull stuff out. So you can see it's going here. Now it looks like the pebbles are probably moving over, and they just got smelted. And then everything gets pulled out and put into here. And there's the rest of our charcoal. And I think I put tin in there, so the iron that's going in there is just some of the bonuses. Yep. Feed this some more. There we go. Okay, so these episodes go a lot faster when I already know where everything's going to go. So let me check the time, because there's something else I want to tell you about that is like really, really awesome, and why I have so much of this right now, because I didn't mine that by hand. Let me go see. Okay, so we're at 18 minutes. So we'll go ahead and show off the next part. Here's what we got out of that. I think we put in like 50 something, so that's what we got. Okay, so what I want to set up real quick is going to be rftools quarrying machine. Now, I was playing around with this, and this beats all other quarries for one simple attribute that it has. I'll show that to you. Okay, good. It's got some power from when I tore it up before. So I'm going to set it up real quick. We're going to have this coming out. The power is going in from both sides. Throw in another filter pipe and a trash can. Trash can we'll just put on top so it's away from everything. And the filter that we have are just normal things. I guess it's easier to see if I don't hit shift. Just cobblestone, dirt, sand, gravel, blocks that you don't really want a bunch of. So we're going to trash can those. Alright, and then I'll just build this out a little bit. Whoops. There we go. Oh! Also, I built an ink farm, in case you didn't know. These squids are just littering my ground with these. I run into them all the time. Okay, so I've got some chests here. I want this chest also. There we go. Get this one. Should have brought an axe. I do have an axe with me. Well. Alright, that. Put this one over here. Just like that. So I have 2 extra inventories for things. And throw this in there. And then the lever on the front to activate it. Okay. So, let me demonstrate what this does. So it's just a builder block. A builder block can be used to move blocks. It can be used to void blocks. It can be used to... Let's just take a look at it and see what it says. Okay, it can be used to move, copy, swap, and... Well, it doesn't say everything there. It can use to void stuff. Let's take a look at how easy the recipe is. It's just brick, 1 ender pearl. It's probably the most expensive part because all this you can find underground. So it's really, really easy to build. Now how do you build this? Just some diamonds, and then paper and brick and some iron. Okay, so what do we use this for? Inside this quarrying shape card, you can put in the coordinates. Now I have, this is the Y, and then this is the X and the Z. The Y I just have, you know, all of the space between the ground and the sky, and then I'm doing just a chunk at a time, just because I don't have too much power. And then this is the offset. These are pretty much the coordinates from where this thing is, where you would like to quarry. Oops, let's go back in here. And then I have it set to solid box. So if we throw this in here, and then put on support so you can see where the actual quarry is. Is it nighttime again? I don't want to run out there if it's... No, it's getting there. Well, maybe we can see it from here. Let's go to where we have some daylight so that our journey map will give us... There we go. See how it switched? Alright. So we'll go to our journey map and we'll flip over here. And this is where it's supposed to be lit up. I think if we actually render it, then it'll come up. So we'll pop on over and see if we can take a peek. Okay, now we're coming up, and there it is. And we might be able to run and make it without anything spawning. Okay, now you can see it on the journey map. I guess it takes a moment. Okay. Turn that off. So I have it doing each chunk. If we hit F9, we can see where the borders are. So you can see I have it right inside there. And I've already quarried this. Gosh dang, why? These AI. But it's inside there, and if you don't want to come all the way out and take a look at it, once you get it to render, I guess in the real world, then it'll render on your journey map. Let me get away from these folks because they want to do nothing else but ruin this video. They're part of that anti-YouTube group that they don't like being filmed. We'll go back into our base. It's nice to not have to use doors into our base. Okay. So we can't see it. We'll have to go back to where we can see some sky. There we go. Okay, now it is rendering. So you can see it's inside the chunk. The one corner, like, okay, you see how it has these grids? This is the inside of one, and this is the inside of the last one. So you know it goes from here to here. So you can just look at your journey map and make sure that you have the right offset instead of having to go out and look at it. Okay, so now that it's daytime, let's get our bearings here. And go, and we'll set it for the next chunk, and then we'll get it started here. Now I don't know, it seems like it takes a lot of power, but I think it seems like that because I don't have a lot of power. So we'll turn that back on. I didn't mean to turn it off. And we want to offset it again by 16. So I think that that is this. I'm pretty sure. We'll do it by 20. We'll take a look and see if I did it correctly. Alright, turn that back on. And we'll hop up here and take a peek. Okay, journey map. Oh, it's updating. Oh, and I only moved it by 6. Well, at least we know it's moving this way, and I want to move it that way. So, we'll come back down here. Move it back by, go back to 14. And then move this by 16 this time. So, that would be, what, you add 1, 24, 30. I'm so good at math. It feels like I'm flying when you just jump into the air and then start going up to the surface. Alright, so we'll take a look, and there we go. It's right on the edge of the grid, and it goes all the way down to the corner of the other grid. So what makes this quarry the best quarry is that it's remote quarrying. Okay, it doesn't keep itself chunk loaded like the extra utilities ender quarry, but it will load the chunk that it's working in. So if you have more than one chunk, it will only load the one that's working in, just like the ender quarry. Just you have to make sure and keep the original block, the builder block, loaded. Okay, so it's remote quarrying. You don't have to move your builder block around. All you have to do is change the onset all the time. You can just anywhere. I think the only stipulation is that you have to make sure that the chunks are generated. Like I don't think that I can set it out here and expect to get anything. I think I have to like actually go out there and explore and then come back, and then I'll be able to quarry those blocks. But yeah, so this is where it was sitting last time. And if I flip the switch, it should just start going. So this is empty, and then pop. And you see it's getting all the plant life, and it's going through the dirt. So there's actually an upgrade to this quarry card. I think I saw in the change log that now it comes with where you can, I was on that, it comes with where you can void certain blocks. You know, the same blocks that I have going up into the trash can. So I'm using power right now to actually quarry those blocks, but I think with that void maybe it'll skip over them. Maybe, if I'm even using the right term, void. You can see what Y level it's at. It goes like layer by layer, like a Buildcraft quarry, and it goes down. It's not like one XZ at a time. It's layer by layer and then heads downwards. So the stuff at the bottom is a little more expensive. Also, there are some blocks that will take like 60,000 RF. I'm not sure what that is, but I don't get anything out of it. So I wonder if that's like how much it takes to quarry through lava or something. So it can be expensive, and maybe that's the incentive to infuse it so that it gets cheaper. But right now, for what we have, it's something. See, we're already getting different blocks. Got some poppies. I didn't void out the limestone because, you know, I'm using that for base. So there you go. We have some processing add-ons, and we have a quarry that we showed off now. And we have a new underwater base. There's plenty of space to expand. We've got a whole ocean over here, and I'm just using up this much, so we can like go all the way through here. Anyways, so I think that's going to be the end of the episode. It's probably past the 30-minute mark by now. And yeah, sweet, quarrying. We made it, quarrying. So maybe we'll have enough supplies to get into flight pretty soon. Anyways, you all have a great day.